Today on Larry King Now, the Channel 4 News team is back.
Look at this face.
It's a normal face. It's a face.
It's like a tractor beam.
It's a beacon of hope.
It's Anchorman 2's Will Ferrell and David Koechner.
People like Ron because he's obviously a silly buffoon, but at the same time, he represents authority, I think, in a way, and we like to see our leaders made fun of. That's my smart answer.
Plus, director Adam McKay and producer Judd Apatow.
I think the one thing that I brought to it was what would make Ron Burgundy a real person. I just kept saying, but what's he like when he's just quiet?
Harrison Ford, how did you get him to do this?
We lied to Harrison Ford.
That's all ahead on Larry King Now. With us now, Will Ferrell and David Koechner, the co-stars. Actually, it's David's film. And
Thank you.
Will is also in it.
He's the big dog.
Will also co-wrote it.
Yeah.
How, all the absurdities you came up with. Mm-hmm. Explain the character. Why is Ron Burgundy a hit?
Well, look at this face, right?
It's a normal face. It's a face.
It's glorious.
It's glorious, right? It's like a tractor beam.
It's a beacon of hope, that face.
Ron, I think people like Ron because he's obviously a silly buffoon, but at the same time, he represents authority, I think, in a way, and we like to see our leaders made fun of. That's my smart answer.
But he's an idiot.
He is.
Yes.
He is. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at home, we'd like to think of ourselves as smarter than the idiots who are running things, whether it's your boss or a teacher or someone from the government.
Someone pointed out this film makes a statement about the media, doesn't it? Car chases more than the head of the PLO.
Yeah, right. We, when we decided to choose 1980 as the launching point for...
That's when CNN began.
That's when CNN began. And we thought, this will be a fun opportunity to have, a broad, funny PG-13 movie that reaches a wide audience, at the same time have a little satirical edge to it, with a comment on 24-hour news. And Ron and his guys are the forefathers of how we report things.
Your character, how do you see him? You're a sports guy who doesn't know sports.
Right, he doesn't know sports. He's in denial in a lot of ways. He's a raging alcoholic. He's a homophobe, yet blatantly homosexual. He's racist, misogynist, has zero ethics.
Yeah.
That's how I see him.
Yeah.
So he's just
So
like
how
me.
motivates you to play him?
What's the screen? It's what the script. All that stuff's in there. To me, there's a lot of fun complexity to play with, and he's also got nothing but anger, that's what he uses as his shield of denial to get through life. Because he's basically in a bad emotional place deep inside.
It sounds heavy, doesn't it?
It's heavy duty.
Heavy duty. That's what I see.
You're gonna walk out of the theater going, that guy, champ.
Yikes.
I've asked, who came up with the shark?
That was an idea I think Adam McKay came up with, because we were talking about how would you want to, this highly anticipated sequel, what would be a funny way to start it? And
so he's underwater and being...
We thought, we could start it this way, or we could start it with Ron being attacked by a shark. And explain it way at the end of the movie. And we're like, that would be great, and it stayed.
How did you bottle feed a shark?
Very delicately.
Out of the water, too.
Out of the water.
Yeah.
I was going to try to say that's how I lost my hand, but I can't get it. I can't get it inside my jacket.
Everybody in this said they couldn't wait to do it.
We had a lot of fun.
We're having so much fun. We really like each other, obviously. We get along comedically. We get to do these interviews together. And the other fun part is we're finally, as a group, getting to take a little pat on the back for the first movie, which we didn't get to do. It was a modest hit, when it first came out, but it really grew in popularity 4, 5, 6 years after. And so now we're kind of getting credit as a group for the first movie.
How do you explain that growth?
Well, I think because people thought it was just a big, dumb movie. And like, that. but the movie is really a satire at the center, with all this silliness around it. And you watch it, there's so much humor tucked in that you didn't see the first time. For instance, when we're walking down the hill at one point, we're all just casually littering. You probably missed that the first time. But then when you see it again, you're like, are they just, and not even finishing what we're eating. I took a half a corn dog. And I think, so it kind of comments on a lot of things that are American. It comments on American society in ways you're like, oh, that's another thing we do.
And fans, upon repeat viewings, got to rediscover those jokes, and that leads to a really strong ownership of the movie.
And there's even more in this, right?
Yeah.
Canadians, the hockey stick, funny.
Yeah. Funny. Okay, we got a funny from Larry King. You know it's funny.
Yasser Arafat wants to watch car chases.
Yes, he does too.
Yeah.
Now, do you ice skate?
I ice skate in. If you describe ice skating being able to comfortably get on and off the ice, yes, I ice skate.
So how'd you do that scene?
Well, he's being too humble. I remember that night watching him do that. Now, he doesn't play the flute. I'll give him that.
Okay.
But here's this guy out there. It's cold. And he just goes and does it. He's laughing, having a good time. He's a guy that just moves his body in a certain way, and he can make it funny. He's making ice skating funny.
I didn't do those spins, though. That wasn't
No, that wasn't you.
But the rest of it, the guy's just gliding along like, wow, look at him.
You shot this in Atlanta. Why Atlanta?
Well, we
Did you
really...
go CNN is based there? Did you? No.
I wish I could say it was...
No.
Yeah, no. It's the tax break in Georgia to shoot. Yeah. That's the glamorous answer.
I was pained to learn that it was only 3 days in New York. Huh?
Yeah.
Even Central Park wasn't Central Park, right?
Right.
So it's fake.
It's it's...
So are the characters.
Yeah.
You mean they aren't?
They're not real people. Yeah.
They're not real.
Hey, wait a minute. You're destroying my whole image.
I know.
There is no Ron Burgundy.
No, sorry.
Not right now. Not at least at this moment.
And he really knows sports.
Champ? No. No.
Ron's stuck at LaGuardia right now.
When you do a comedy, you don't play it funny, do you?
That's another thing we all share in common. We're totally committed to the characters. You never wink at the camera. And that the juxtaposition of being totally committed with the fact that you're saying ridiculous things makes it funny.
But Christina said there are a couple of times, if you're quick enough to catch it, where you do break up and they left it in. They left a little bit in of the breakup.
Little crease. Well, it happens because you don't want to ruin anyone else's take.
Right.
But sometimes you can't.
You can't help it.
I have the good fortune of having that big cowboy hat, so I can act like I'm adjusting it. And tuck so if that happens, that means I was laughing.
Do you break up?
In my personal life? Yes. I can't stay in relationships. No.
No, I mean, you know.
Yes. I break up on occasion. I can hang in the pocket
good.
pretty good.
You're good.
Yeah.
The lighthouse scene, though, it was toward the end of the filming, and it was the last scene the four of us were going to do together, and I don't know if it was a combination of two things. None of us could keep it together. And,
it was
and I
ridiculous.
couldn't at all. And Adam said, don't worry, we're on your back right now, so we're shooting the other way. Go ahead and laugh. It'll be around. We can get around that.
Folks, you're going to love this movie. It's a hysterical movie. The only thing not in it, I should have been in it.
True.
We blew it.
It feels
We blew
incomplete.
it.
It feels incomplete.
I would have turned it. You come to me and I turn it down.
It's a reason
But they
to make
told
a
me
third.
They told me I'll be in Anchorman 3.
You're up first.
How much space do we need before the next film?
18 years.
18 years.
First took 9, so you got to double that. Got to be 18.
I asked my friend Al Pacino,
Yeah.
how do you play blind?
Yeah.
Remember he did that great
Sure,
movie?
sure.
How did you play blind?
I just watched Al Pacino.
No, he said you look at one object and just focus in.
Yeah, I would kind of squint. Yeah, you would just focus and not move your head. And
Was it hard?
I don't know. No, I didn't think about it. Yeah, it didn't seem that hard. I mean, but I didn't have the pressure of being realistic with my blind, where Al Pacino in that movie is doing a dramatic performance. I'm doing a
Petulance.
yeah.
Have you ever seen a more arrogant, petulant blind person?
Who came up with the idea of a lighthouse? I mean, it was absurd.
That was Adam and I. Yeah. I came up with the idea that Ron has to go blind, and he came up with the idea, well, and I think he should live in a lighthouse.
But how about even that comedy? So does he run the lighthouse? Because he just shut it off? I don't know if there's ships.
Who let him live in a Who let him live in a lighthouse?
Blind man can't run a lighthouse.
Makes no sense.
How does he drive the car away?
Yeah. He doesn't.
You guys laugh yourself when you see it?
I did. The first time I saw it, I was laughing really hard, and then I stopped and said, "What am I doing?" Because I thought I heard laughter in the theater, and then oh yeah, they're all laughing too, and that was all industry people. So I thought that was a good sign. But I enjoy these guys. I enjoy watching these guys and laughing at them. I wasn't laughing. In fact, when I'd come on the screen, I'd stop.
Judging.
Yeah.
Friendships have developed from this, right? You four have become...
I'd known Will since '95.
Yeah.
We were both actually hired on a Saturday Night Live the same day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then went to a Yankee game that night.
Yeah.
And we're both doing like, what just
happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Were you stand-ups?
Sketch and improv.
Yeah. David from Second City in Chicago, and I came from the Groundlings in L.A.
I do stand-up now.
Yeah.
You do stand-up?
Yeah, it's the, because I
What's
enjoy
next?
life.
What are you doing next, Will? Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
my kids,
Right.
they have seen The Other Guys
Oh, really?
700 times. Wow. That is one of the great movies.
That's great.
And
High praise.
working with Wahlberg.
Yeah.
that
Fantastic.
character.
Yeah.
What are you doing next?
I am actually, I think I'm going to do this movie with Kevin Hart, starting in the spring, called Get Hard.
Get hard.
Wait a minute.
It does not what you think.
It's an underground picture.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Where I'm a white collar financial person who's been sentenced to a harsh maximum security prison term, and he gets me ready for prison.
It's a comedy.
Comedy.
What are you doing next, David?
Maybe we shouldn't
I'm
do
doing
it.
stand-up. Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't do it.
I'm doing stand-up the first 3 months of the year, doing a little tour called Together Again with just me. And then there's a movie coming out called Cheap Thrills,
Oh,
which is fantastic.
critically
It comes out-
acclaimed.
Yeah. Comes
Yes.
out in March. It's a sinister thriller with dark comedic undertones.
They shot it in 12 days.
12
but
days.
It's
Amazing.
It's getting all these rave reviews.
Cheap Thrills?
Cheap Thrills. You'll love it.
Who's in it?
Ethan Embry, Pat Healy, Sarah Paxton, and myself. And it was a great little ensemble picture, but it pulls you right in. It's a pressure cooker. That, and then I did this thing with Brent Butt in Canada that's going to come out called No Clue, and then also David Cross shot a film this summer that apparently is going to be at Sundance called Hits.
Do you ever want to do
I
something
can't keep
serious?
track. I've done it on occasion, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, serious roles and pictures. But
I've never seen you serious.
yeah,
Stranger Than
Fiction, another movie called Everything Must Go. So I've gotten to do it a couple times.
I think you're ready for Death of a Salesman.
Okay. From
Play the father, Willie Loman.
Larry King's mouth to God's ears.
You must see this movie. The only thing not in it is me.
We get it.
And it's not complete. It's not a complete film. No.
We now welcome to Larry King Now, Adam McKay and Judd Apatow, the producer, writer, directors. They do everything on Anchorman 2. What are you?
I'm the producer.
the producer.
Yes, Adam is the writer and the director and the producer. He got 3 things
I
happening.
got 3.
What does a producer do?
Well, you know,
Well, let's think about it.
I'll get to a town and I'll say, where's the spa? Where's the spa? Who does a good spray on tan? Who does a good shiatsu massage? And then I stay there.
This is important stuff.
And then when I say, people go, why aren't you on the set? And I say, because you gotta let the director direct the film. What am I gonna do? Micromanage? And then
So you disappear.
I disappear. And then I show up when it's Larry King time. And then I take credit.
And you get a percentage of the profits.
And I get a massive percentage of the profits.
Are you a hired hand?
I'm a hired hand. Yeah, I just take care of Mr. Apatow. I make him look good. And at the end of the day, we're all smiling.
Who comes up with what? Like Anchorman 1, give me the origins. Where did it begin?
Well, that was Will and I wrote that script, wrote a crazy version of it that no one in Hollywood would make. we basically took it to all the studios and financiers in town. 26 of them all said no.
Was that the one we saw, or was that a different version?
Different one.
Okay.
We then brought Mr. Apatow in.
Yeah.
Rewrote it with him.
Uh-huh.
And then they made it.
Because of his name.
Because he found the good spa.
And what did you change in
What
they
did we
brought
change? I think the one thing that I brought to it was just trying to talk about what would make Ron Burgundy a real person. In addition to what was so funny about the character, I just kept saying, but what's he like when he's just quiet? What's he talk like when he's at home? And I think, oddly, you really care about him as a person.
Oh, you do.
And he's very sweet, and Will's so sweet. And so, the idea that he's in love. Like, we care that he's in love.
Why wasn't it initial, or how do you explain its genesis in being not initially a hit and now become a worldwide favorite through what?
I have no idea. I was hoping you could tell us.
Yeah.
Well, I guess television kept playing it and kids loved it.
And DVD, television, snippets on YouTube, and people kept watching it over and over again. The character is kind of an infectious character, so I think people eventually took to it. There's a lot of jokes in the movies, so when you go see it in a movie theater for the first time, you don't fully appreciate that.
Some movies are good when you watch them a lot.
Yeah.
Like, certain movies are just funnier the fourth time. When we would watch it in editing, we would laugh so hard on the 100th view of it. We would go, look what Carell's doing in the corner. He's just eating a banana for no reason. And we would notice all these little details, and I think people had that experience of it.
Was there a difference? Is it true that there's another Anchorman script that has not been done that is crazier than this one?
Well, that was the one we tried to get made that every studio said no to.
Yeah.
Oh, is that still around?
We still have it. Yeah, maybe that'll be the third one. I don't know.
Can you tell me just briefly what was crazy about it? Because how can it be crazier than this one?
All the anchor people were on a plane. They were all on a plane headed to an Anchorman convention. So it was like 50 guys on a plane.
And one woman.
And Alicia Corningstone.
Yeah.
Veronica Corningstone. Alicia Silverstone. I get very confused.
That's right. Alicia Silverstone. Stick with her.
And they basically crash into a mountain, and then it becomes a survival story on the side of a mountain with Anchorman, like Lord of the Flies with Anchorman.
And they end up fighting baboons with martial arts weapons.
Yes.
So
All the craziness in this movie to bring it on Harrison Ford. How did you get him to do this? I don't want to tell you who else is in it because everyone's a surprise. But Harrison Ford comes on early.
Yes.
we lied to Harrison Ford. We told him.
What did you tell him?
There was a family dinner. We called impersonating his son. He showed up. No, how did we get Harrison Ford? I'm trying to remember. We always wanted him. I mean, he was our first choice.
One might just say pure favor. Just someone did us a favor.
Really? Another guy?
Yeah, an agent said, I'll tell Harrison to do it. I'll get him to show up. And Harrison showed up, and he wasn't very aware of the movie. He hadn't seen the movie.
Had not
seen the movie. Had not watched the movie even before he came to shoot it. He just was
Never
there for
saw
fun.
Anchorman 1.
No, I think he claims he will never see it after shooting
Didn't
it.
you ask him later if he'd seen it, and he said still no?
Yeah, he said, no, I haven't seen it. And then
And his children hadn't even seen it. I said, well, your kids have probably seen it. And he goes, no, they haven't seen it either.
we still don't know why he showed up. But
He was perfect.
other than, but he
Wasn't he
was
great?
hysterical, and
Yeah.
he's very, very funny. And I think that people take for granted that the reason why we love Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark is that Harrison Ford is really funny, and I think he personally rewrote a lot of his material in a lot of movies, and he's quietly one of the great comic actors.
Working with Will, what is that like?
You know, Will is just so collaborative. He's like such a kind of giving actor. You think of Hollywood stars as that it has to be me, me, me. But the weird thing about Will is he's always trying to set other people up in the scenes. He's trying to make everyone else funny. And he's a great writer, too. I mean, the crazy thing is on set with him, you know, when we start improvising, which we do a lot of, he's always coming up with the greatest lines.
Who came up with the shark? One of the great characters in film.
And that is one of the
Thank you.
great questions of all time.
Who came up
with the shark?
That's why I'm me.
I don't know. Who did come up with the shark?
I don't know. I remember them telling me about it. They said there's going to be a whole sequence where he raises a shark.
It was just Ferrell and I in his house, basically, trying to make each other laugh. And at some point, there was a shark, and then we told Judd about it, and he goes, "Really, a shark?" And we go, "Yep, a shark."
Here's good producing. Why don't we show you how to be a producer? They say, "Hey, we're going to do a whole sequence where he raises a shark."
And what do you say?
I said, "All right, all right, all right. Let's see how that goes."
Who came up with the ice skating?
That, I think, was Will. Yeah, I think we wanted to have him play the jazz flute, but we felt like something else needed to be on top of it. It needed
Did
to be
he skate?
He could skate a little bit.
There's a double skating form, and what makes me laugh is the cuts from double to Will to double to Will.
Because the close-ups is where you think he looks like he's
He is
doing it.
skating a little bit. Yeah,
he gets skinnier and chubbier when he goes from stuntman to Will, which makes me laugh.
One of the Larry King Live, in the 26-year history of Larry King Live at CNN, one of the great shows was Talladega Nights.
That's one of my favorite things ever.
Both of them are on my show, and it was the only show I ever did in my life that is scripted. Everything said on that show was in my prompter.
Yeah,
I wrote it. Yeah,
That was what a hysterical night that was. They stayed in character.
I just brought that up to Will the other day. I said that is to this day the greatest thing we've ever done to promote a movie ever.
To promote a movie, they come with the uniforms.
Amazing, and you totally straight-manned him the whole time. It was like a one-act play or something watching it. It was amazing.
Little baby Jesus.
Yeah. I gotta get a copy of that.
Is there going to be Anchorman 3? Look, this is obvious. This picture's hysterical about telling you anything you don't know. It's funny. In fact, I gave it a quote of a laugh riot. I think it's a laugh riot.
I love it.
Surprise. Humor is surprise. Humor doesn't work unless it surprises you, and this has a million surprises.
And you were in Ghostbusters.
First one for my first movie.
That's right.
Nice.
Is there an Anchorman 3?
Should there be?
Yeah, you have to tell us.
Absolutely.
You think so? But we got to wait a little while, right? You can't
Not
just
10 years.
Yeah, but I think like 2 years at least.
2
right?
years, but jump on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the worst thing to do, like the fans demanded this second one, which is how we did it. So we want to let them demand it a little bit. A third
Are you doing anything in the interim?
Other projects?
Well, what are you doing?
I work on the TV series Girls.
Oh,
with
that's
Lena
a
Dunham,
great.
and so that starts up in January. And I'm going to make a movie this summer with a comedian, Amy Schumer, a really funny woman this summer.
You like comedy?
I do like comedy. I don't really trust anything that doesn't have jokes. If I see a movie and it doesn't have jokes, I feel like it's not truthful.
Norris, you will not produce or say a remake of Death of a Salesman.
There's some jokes in there. There's some humor in there.
There's some funny in there.
But no, it's depressing. I've shot things that had dramatic scenes in them, and then everyone's depressed that day. But they're not depressed when you're bottle raising a shark.
What are you doing, Adam?
I am working on a movie with Will Smith and Denzel Washington, a remake of Uptown Saturday Night, the old movie from the 70s. So hopefully we'll be doing that next summer.
Gonna have both of them together? Wow.
That's what we're hoping, yeah. Will's definitely committed. Denzel said he was interested. So.
Did you have any he's doing Raisin in the Sun. Denzel,
Yeah.
Did you have any trepidation about the racial scene, the dinner?
No, we knew that the joke was always on the side of the fact that Burgundy was so ignorant, and if the joke stayed on Burgundy and how stupid he was, and it never got mean-spirited or it was about race, we knew we were in good shape. And right away when we tested it, the audience identified that it was, he's an idiot. And so long as that was the joke, we knew we were okay.
There's about an hour cut from this. There's about 3 hours worth of that. Do you regret anything you cut?
There's going to be a DVD that has an alternate version of the movie that has.
That'll be a smash because the DVD was a hit.
Yeah.
I should host the DVD.
You got to host the DVD. I think it's a great idea.
You could do it right now. Look in that camera and welcome everyone to the DVD.
Welcome to the DVD of Anchorman 2. You will see things never seen before. Scenes cut that the cast regrets. You will cry. You will laugh. You will go home better than you were before. Enjoy Anchorman 2 Revisited.
That just cost us $1 million.
It's amazing.
That's not free. He did it like it was free. But now lawyers are going to call.
You got to really put that on the DVD for real.
Yeah, we have time.
You guys are tremendous talents.
Thank you very much.
You have brought comedy to a new level. You should be very proud. This is a great, great movie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam.
Pleasure.
Judd.
Thank you so much.
Be well.
in a snowstorm, nonetheless.
A Jew in the snow.